favor. This is my season to reap what I have sown. Yes, it is. Yes, this is my season for grace, grace and favor. This is my season to reap what I have sown. Yeah. Listen, I haven't been perfect, no, but I sure have been faithful. Yes, I've been faithful. You see, God's got a purpose, no, and yes, I know He's able. I've got a seed in the ground that He's blessing. No more stressing. I've got a seed in the ground. Now I know Him, and now I can show Him. This is my seed for grace and favor. Yeah. This is my season to reap what I have sown. Oh, everything is working together for my good. Help me say, everything is working together for my good. It may look bad right now. Everything is working, but it's gonna work out together for my good. No matter what you're dealing with right now, everything is working. It's gonna work out together for your good, for my good. Let's go to the next part. Say it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's working for my good. Don't you give up. Don't you give in. Hang on in there. This is my song, y'all. It's working for my good. Everything is working for our good. Don't forget. Well, thank you guys again for joining us for another Egg Up World. This is probably episode number 16 to 17. My lovely daughter was keeping up with that, and she is on vacation this week. If you have any kids, you know that it is spring break around Georgia. So what are you going to do for spring break? Why don't you get out and go see some farms? Yes, there are a lot of farms in the area. You know, we used to think it was just 1% Black farmers in America, and that is just not true. So just understand, you guys, that we are headed into ag time. You know, when you hear the word climate smart, you know, we was thinking emissions, hairspray, you know, crazy things like that. Come to find out, it is all about farming. Everything that we're doing and thinking about is farming. So tonight's going to be short. I am out of town as well, meeting with farmers as we get ready for the growing season. And so I want to be consistent in getting good information out to you on a weekly basis. So this week, this month, we're talking about farm animals. Yes, farm animals. And basically, we want to go over the meat quality and production. I just chose like two breeds from the main animals that we try to raise. And when I say main animals, I mean cattle, pigs, and goat. Chicken as well, but chickens are chickens. You can either do chickens or hens. But I did pick three main animals that we like to focus on when we're talking about, do I want to get into farming? Do I want to get into animals? And so we're going to jump right into that. And basically, what we want to cover again is fertility and reproduction. appearance and the temperament of the animals, because that is very important if you're trying to get into raising animals. And of course, meat quality and production. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start with cattle, right? That is one of the main things that we like to get into is beef. And when I think beef, I think Longhorn Steakhouse, right? And so when we're talking about Longhorn Steakhouse, we are thinking about a million little white plates, right? And when they say they're selling T-bones, all of them got to look alike or basically fit on that plate. And so that's what we want to do for you guys, is just kind of figure out like what animals do you want to get into that's going to bring you the most money, what you can afford, what we can do on smaller acreage. Cattle is literally for larger acres. And when we say larger acres, we mean for one cow, they would like for you to have 2 acres. And that's because cows eat a whole lot, right? And so that's what that's all about. Let us see. I want to go ahead and see if it'll let me just switch over here. Okay, so we're back, and let's look at what we have here. Right in front of us, we're going to start talking about right away is that Angus beef. I brought up the fact that we are looking at different animals in Longhorn Steakhouse, how they like for all of their stuff to look exactly the same. And so that is what this is all about. We're going to start talking about Angus beef first. And so when we're talking about Angus beef, this is cattle that most well known and widely recognized. Black Angus beef is what people are looking for, and they are starting to breed more of because it is in demand. Believe it or not, we actually have red Angus beef as well. But again, the black is most widely demanded here in America. And the Angus breed is, of course, mostly recognized in the world, and that is because of its high quality meat. Okay. And I always think go get my cattle from Texas if I'm going to start breeding. But as you can see, these originated in Scotland. So going around the world to figure out what animals will bring you the most money is always a good idea. Okay. And the Angus breed is most famous for its marble meat. Which is tender, flavorful, and juicy. And when they say marble, that means like the fat is kind of in between as well, but not as much fat. Mostly meat. As you can see, these are some pretty big animals. And that marble meat also makes it tender and flavorful, juicy, making it a highly prized in both domestic and international markets. And so I've been on a cattle farm, and so we castrate the bulls or so that they will not grow as big, and their meat will be as tender as well as a cow. And so that is what we want, and then make sure that all of them are the same sizes. So some key characteristics when we're looking at Angus beef, of course, is the color. Angus cattle are mostly black, though there is a red variety also that we just looked at. And the size, okay, Angus cattle are medium to large in size, and their bulls can weigh up to 1,800 to 2,500 pounds. So nothing to shake your finger at. And the cows or females typically weigh in between 1,000 to 1,400 pounds. When you first go in, we're looking for heifers. And heifers mean that they have not had any cows of their own. Okay. You are a heifer if you have not had any cows. Okay. Their body, they have compact muscular build with broad, deep body. And that is, again, why we choose them, or why Longhorn Steakhouse likes that Black Angus beef. One of the key characteristics of the Angus breed is that they are naturally polled, and that means they are born without horns, which makes them easier to handle and reduce the injury of other animals and of the farm hands. And when we're talking about injuries and things, temperament is very important when you're getting into farm animals. You need to know which ones are calm, and that means they're easier to deal with, right? So docile and calm, that's what those words intertwine. And Angus, that particular breed, are known for being very calm and easygoing. They're generally friendly, less aggressive compared to other cattle breeds, which makes them easier to manage. And that is very important if you have a large scale farm. They're quite adaptable to different climates and farming conditions, which also contributes to their widespread use in various countries around the world. So that means if I get an Angus cow, it doesn't matter where I am in the United States, they are adaptable. And of course, that means good for selection, right? Again, so when we're talking about meat quality, because that is very important in the fact that we are selling cows for meat, correct? Marbling, again, I told you that is where there's like a little bit of fat in there, not too much, but that is what marbling looks like. And you don't want it to be heavy white, but again, that makes the meat more tender. And that is why Angus beef is so popular. It's because of the marbling. Fine streaks of fat within the muscle, okay, contributing to the meat's tenderness and flavor. So that's an actual definition that I found for marbling. Flavor profile is highly prized for its rich, beefy flavor and is considered some of the best beef available. So again, if you're getting into cows, definitely think about Angus beef. In many countries, particularly the U.S., it is associated with prime and choice grades, which is among the highest quality beef grades available. And again, what does that mean? Top dollar, okay? So you can get top dollar, you want prime and choice grades. Okay, so when we're talking about reproductive traits of the Angus beef, fertility, calving ease. Angus cows are known for their good fertility and ease of calving. And that just means they have good maternal instincts, which means that they take good care of their calves. And so that is calving, which is taking care of their calves. And then the calves from Angus beef grow very quickly, and they wean in a short amount of time. And that means there's benefits both from maternal qualities of the breed and superior genetics for meat production. The average lifespan of the Angus cow is about 10 to 15 years, and they are most productive in terms of breeding and meat producing during the first 5 to 7 years of their life. And so after about 8 years, you need to kind of pay attention to, did they actually produce a calf? Because if they did not, then they need to get in that line of cows that you're selling. Once you have like a good cow and you have a great bull, then you may keep your cow for 5 to 7 years again for breeding purposes. And then maybe after that, if they're not breeding as well or as many, then you can put them on the block. Okay. Adaptability and hardiness. What does that mean, right? Angus cattle are well suited for a wide range of environments. So we're talking about colder regions to warmer climates. Again, that's adaptability, right? The thick coats helps them to stay warm and cold, and ability to handle various conditions makes them versatile. Angus cattle are also efficient grazers. So we were talking about 1 cow per 2 acres. That is definitely connected to grazing. Okay, efficient grazers mean they eat heavily. Okay, thriving on pasture-based systems often require less supplemental feeding compared to other breeds, and so they will. Again, you have to rotate them between those 2 acres, again, to make sure they're efficient grazers and they're not eating the grass all the way down to the roots. That's why we like grazing. We know that different parasites and things live closer to the ground in the soil. And so to even keep your cows from getting sick, it's good to put them on a grazing schedule so that they don't again contract different diseases and things that may be even in the grass. Crossbreeding, because that is a thing that you can do, and most of the time when people are crossbreeding, it's because they are trying to enhance meat quality or improve growth rates, things of that nature, right? So keep that in mind when we're talking about crossbreeding. It is for a reason, right? Most farmers who not genetically modified, but just crossbreeding, okay? Angus cattle are frequently used to crossbreed due to their desirable traits, their ability to produce high quality beef, and when crossed with other breeds, they could pass on the marbling and tenderness of their offspring. And why would you do something like that? Again, Angus beef is quite expensive, and you can still again get that quality by crossbreeding with them, and so that improving the overall quality of your own herd that you may have right now. Okay, uses. What do we use these animals for, right? Beef production is the primary use of Angus. Okay, and beef production is usually why we get into breeding animals. Their high quality meat is highly sought after by consumers, and of course, Longhorn Steakhouse, especially for premium cuts like steaks, roast, and ground beef. Okay, that is usually why you have Angus cattle. Again, you are going to have that meat processed all the way to either ground beef, steaks, or roast. Grass-fed beef, again, that's a new thing, like free-range chickens. We want grass-fed beef. And they Angus cattle, remember, are good for grazing and are often used in grass-fed beef programs. So, like if there's grant money or things out there around sustainable growth, or anything, when you hear those words, grass-fed Angus is really good for those type programs. Okay. Breeding stock, remember I told you, because of the marbling and how well the mother takes care of the cattle, they are often used for breeding. Okay, and remember I told you up to about 8 years is good for breeding with Angus. Now, even though they live to be about 15 years, again, those first 5 to 7 are the best for breeding when it comes to this particular animal. And in conclusion, these is one of the most respected and widely sought after breeds, Angus beef. You've heard it, you hear it in commercials, and yes, it is widely sought after, and so prices are very good on that. And we're going to get into that as we actually visit some colleges and who focus on animals specifically. And remember that with Angus, you want this type of breed cattle, or they call them Temperament, Fertility, adaptability to different environments, right? And so again, Angus beef is most popular choice for either small scale farming or large commercial operations. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you are deciding, okay, yeah, I want to get into cattle, I want to purchase cattle. This is a good way to go. Now, I talked about Angus, and definitely that is for beef production. But of course, we also drink a lot of milk. And not only for cows are good for milk production, but just keep in mind, milk is not just used for drinking, and we have yogurt and ice cream and cheese and just a number of different value-added products that stem just from milk. Shampoos, conditioners are really big as well with high milk production. So we got this cow. It's called a Holstein, and it is a breed of cattle too, and it is widely used for dairy. Okay, so just like we are raising Angus for beef, we will raise Holsteins for dairy. Okay, and they are known for their high milk production and their nice black and white coloring. So, when you think of Bluebell ice cream or just the commercials, this is what your cow normally looks like. They're never either all black or all brown or all red. They got this nice black and white coloring that we like, right? So, of course, appearance. They, of course, are recognized by the striking black and white color coat. And I just like to make a joke there always about how unique God is. We got a black and white cow that eats green grass and gives white milk. That just still blows my mind. And so, yes. In their sizes, they're pretty large cattle too. So their males are about 2,000 to 2,500 pounds. And the cows are usually a little heavier than even in Angus beef, at 1,200 to 1,500 pounds. And that is, of course, allows them to produce significant quantities of milk. Okay. And their body is designed for maximum milk production. So with the well-developed udder and lean frame, that makes them efficient milk producers. So yes, a lot of people are trying to get away from milk, but and that's just the plain white milk, drinking it. Are people getting away from cheese, yogurt? No, they got Greek yogurt, all of that kind of stuff. Again, derives from milk products. Cheese and ice cream, just a number of things that are, again, from milk production. And these two are docile and calm as well. If you're trying to raise these particular type of cattle, they are easy to handle, which is beneficial in dairy farming and where cows are milked and managed on a regular basis. I mean, somebody's actually getting down there, or they have a machine that is collecting the milk. And so you're very happy that your cows are calm during this process, right? Like many cattle breeds, Holsteins are social animals, and they prefer being in herds or with groups of other cows. And it helps them to behave better, when you are managing large groups of them. Go figure, right? And so let's talk about their milk production. Why is it so important, right? High milk yield. The Holstein breed is renowned for its exceptional milk production. It produces the highest volume of milk per cow compared to any other breed. So this makes them the go-to breed for commercial dairy farming worldwide. And if you're thinking about getting into milk, just keep that in mind, that the Holstein has the highest volume of milk per cow. Holstein milk has a lower butter fat content compared to other breeds. and its high volume makes up for the lower fat levels. This milk is still suitable for, again, a wide variety of dairy products. Oh, I almost forgot about butter. And when y'all think, oh, is this something to get into? Think Lando Lakes, which is a cooperative for dairy or milk producers. Okay, and so Lando Lakes is real big for butter. But they do have other milk products that you can purchase as well. So no, milk is not on the out. It's still in. Okay. And what are we talking about when we talk about milk production? A cow can produce 8 to 12 gallons of milk per day. And again, think about these calves that they be having. Majority of the time, they're pretty big. They come out 600-700 pounds. So the idea that a cow produces 8 to 12 gallons of milk per day makes good sense. And you need that if you are harvesting those cows for milk, right? Oh, yes. What is most important? Reproductive and growth traits. So Holsteins are generally known for their good fertility and calving ease, which is essential for maintaining consistent milk production, right? Holstein calves grow relatively quickly and they're generally healthy, although they can be more susceptible to certain diseases compared to more hardy breeds. So they're just making sure that they are dewormed and they get their vaccines as well. Ensuring proper care, nutrition, and vaccination protocols is key to raising healthy Holstein calves. Now, the lifespan of these cows are 5 to 10 years. Though these cows are usually removed from the herd before reaching their full potential age. And the reason that is, of course, is milk production decline or health issues. So again, you're always monitoring that, and the older they get, the less productive they may become. Adaptability. Holsteins are adaptable and can thrive in a range of climate. So they tend to prefer moderate or cooler temperatures. They are less tolerant of extreme heat compared to some other breeds. It may require shade, cool water in hotter climates. So right here in Georgia, we usually definitely have some type of pond or around so that those animals can go and sit in water. And mind you, this is not the same water that they drink out of. We still have to have tubs for water or bins, and they cannot drink out of those ponds, but they can use them to stay cool. While they are generally really strong animals, Holsteins can be prone to certain health problems due to their large size and the fact that they're high milk production. So just like women, girl cows, when we're making milk, and just keep this in mind if you are breastfeeding, that you have to take in extra nutrients, okay? The majority of the nutrients in your body will show up in your milk, and that is how that goes, okay? So high milk production, of course, can drain an animal, and so it can cause health problems. So just kind of monitoring your animals and making sure that they don't have any of the common health issues, disorder, hoof problems, udder infections. Then, of course, get hooked up with a veterinarian. And that way, most vets come out, they'll check your animals for you. You don't have to actually take them in. So please, if you do start to get into these types of animals, cattle, goat, pig, please find out who the veterinarian is in your area so that you can, again, keep healthy animals. Crossbreeding, because it does happen. So these are used to improve milk production in other breeds. Isn't that amazing? Is this genetically modified? I don't know. And the more I be listening to this crossbreeding, I realize that there is a fear of wiping out a whole race of people if, in order to make them better, you have to crossbreed them, right? So, but they are this particular Holstein cattle. They're usually crossed with like smaller, hardy breeds to combine the high milk yield of Holstein, which may have excellent, and combine it with a cow that has excellent fat or protein content. Okay. They are widely used in dairy farming for fish and milk production. And some Holstein crossbreeds are also to help improve aspects of other animal cattle like fertility, calving ease as well. Okay, so what do Holstein cattle, what are they used for primarily? Of course, is dairy production. Okay, and that is because their ability to produce large quantities of milk makes them most commonly used in breeds for definitely commercial dairy operations around the world. So the milk produced by Holstein is used in the production of a wide range of dairy products: cheese, butter, yogurt, ice cream. And so meat production. While Holsteins are primarily dairy cattle, they are also used for beef production in some cases. Although they are not as efficient for meat production as some other breeds like Angus, the meat from Holstein is generally leaner and less marble than that from beef's specific breeds. And what does that mean? There are different companies who are not buying prime or choice, and they are still selling beef, and so after 5 to 10 years, you've gotten all you can out of your Holstein, you can sell that cattle for beef. Okay, so my conclusion here is that Holstein breeds are the corner of the global dairy industry. And when I say global, I mean the whole world. Okay, known for an exceptional milk production and efficiency. Okay, and so because of their temperament as well, and that they're large in size, they're good for fertility, and they usually are the choice for dairy farmers. Okay, so if you're looking into getting into milk products, and again, that could go from shampoo to conditioners to your simple yogurts, but lotion, just different things you could use milk production for. Okay, and those are the only two things I have on two breeds that I covered for cattle. Again, that's Angus beef, which again is what we want to for beef, and it is definitely what Longhorn Steakhouse is using. And then, of course, we have our dairy Holstein breed there, and you just keep that in mind when you think of Land O'Lakes. Like, they're still around, they're still big. Their stock hasn't gone anywhere, and even though milk, actually the cost of milk went up, and so that's always good for anybody farming, harvesting milk from animals. So just that's very important in just understanding exactly which one should I get into, right? And so now we're just going to go ahead and then someone asked earlier, and please forgive me because I'm deep in presentation here, but do you have to have an Angus bull to breed with an Angus cow? And again, we did talk about crossbreeding and how important that is. If you do crossbreed with the Angus bull, it is usually for the marbleization, which causes the meat to be more tender, more juicy. And you do not have to have an Angus bull to breed with an Angus cow. Thank you so much, Baxter, for watching and listening in. So to answer that question, that is, again, very important in selection. of what is it that I actually, let me see if this will let me present. Okay, give me 1 second, you guys. And nope, it's still 30 minutes in, so give me 1 second. Let me see what's going on. Okay, now we're back. So yes, and so let's go into, now we want to kind of talk about my favorite, which is goats, right? And so let me see if I can find my goat. Which one is the goats? Document 5. Okie dokie, you guys. Let's get into goats, right? And yeah, so what we have on our screen now is the boar goat, okay? Because we definitely like to get into understanding what are we doing here with these animals, right? And I chose goat. If I was to go into farming, I am now trying to acquire 62 acres. I have 62 acres because I have abandoned negative thinking. And so with that being said, why am I getting into goats? Because of the market. So here in America, they promote cattle, which is beef, pig or pork, and chicken. And those are commodities for America. So they are always pushing it. I recently received my goat certification, master goat certification in Texas. And they even said, oh, it's a high demand for goat, but no market. That doesn't really make sense, except for in America, they're not providing a market. But not when it comes to individuals. If you know that there's a market for something, then you can jump right in. And because in Atlanta, we have 10 million people, or 12 million in the state of Georgia. Believe it or not, the majority of them are Hispanic, Asian, African, Muslims, Asians, just different people who eat goat. So I always say get into goat, right? And so let's talk about that. The boar goat. Let's talk about this first breed, right? It is very popular, and it is known for its meat production. It originated in South Africa in the early 1900s. So remember, like every time we keep talking about these animals, as you can see, they come from places overseas. So the best quality of animals may come from overseas. So just keep that in mind, okay? And again, because of its meat quality and overall hardiness, and that means that it is a survivor. I just want to go over these characteristics. So the boar goat is a large muscular breed with adult males. Okay, they weigh between 250 to 300 pounds. Females, which are called does, they typically weigh 200 to 225 pounds. Now, of course, when we're talking about the color, they're recognizable because of their white and brown markings, and they may have red heads and necks. Some have dark markings, and standard coloring, though, is white with brown, right? And so if you're looking for them, that's kind of what you need to look for. And the reason why these are good meat goats is because their bodies are real broad. They got deep chest, strong legs, and of course, their well-rounded body contributes to their meat production capabilities. So their temperament, you don't see the word calm and docile too much when it comes to goats. But this particular goat, they are very friendly. They like to play with your other animals. They are relatively easy to handle, which makes them very suitable for small scale and large scale farming. So just keep that in mind again, because goats aren't the most temperament animals, but this particular one, if you're growing for meat, is. The boar goat is primarily bred for meat. Okay. They grow rapidly, with kids reaching market weight at a much faster rate than many other goat breeds. So definitely look at that. You'll be able to sell your boar goats quicker. Okay, because again, they grow rapidly. This breed too is highly valued for producing tender, flavorful meat. Okay, they have a good feed to weight conversion ratio, again, which makes their meat flavorful. Okay, so boar goats are often raised in areas where goat meat is in high demand, such as in certain parts of the U.S., which they don't never list, and of course, Australia and South Africa. Goats are also sacred animals, and so again, people eat them, and they may have different ways that they actually slaughter these animals. They may pray over them first. They have a certain way that they cut or allow the animal to bleed out. And so it is a high demand meat, if you ask me. Okay, health. So boars are resilient and hardy animals capable of thriving in various climates, hot and arid to cooler environments. They have good resistance to goat diseases and parasites, which is very important. And it makes them easier to manage, okay, because of that. They have something out called lespedeza. Okay, I'll say that again. Lespedeza. I'm gonna spell it Lespedeeza. And I'm probably spelling that wrong, but Google it. Thank God for spell check. Lespedeza is a grass that grows, and it helps with parasites that may be inside of goats. So keep that in mind as a supplement, or even as what they may be grazing on. Lespedeza can also help with parasites. Okay, so reproductive characteristics of this particular animal, the boar goat, is an excellent breeder, high fertility rates. That means they are turning over babies on a regular basis. This particular breed can give birth to twins. Triplets and even quadruplets are not uncommon to this breed. But the funny thing is, goats, or does, which are the girls, they literally may only have 2 udders or 3 udders. And so if you only have 2 udders, that's great. But if you have 3 animals, 3 babies, and you only have 2 udders, then one may suffer. So that's the only issue about having triplets and quadruplets, is that the mother may ignore one of them because she can't feed them. So we definitely try to monitor that. But we do like when goats give off twins, right? They have a short kidding season, and the breed is known for its ability to produce kids quickly and efficiently, which supports sustaining farming operations. Okay, so once a goat, when we talk about rapid growth, the kids, that's what we call them, kids, and these are baby goats, they typically reach 40 to 50 pounds in the first few months. And when we say few, we mean 2 to 3 months. Okay, making them ready for market much sooner than other breeds. Okay, and that just means the weaning process, because you cannot sell animals while they are still getting milk from their mother. So usually with these goats, their kids reach 50 pounds in the 3 to 4 months, and they're ready for market. Okay, so that's always good when we're talking about turnover, so that you can make a profit. Okay, highly profitable is this particular goat breed. Okay, Boer goats are primarily used for meats, and they are known for producing high quality, lean meat with minimum fat that is tender and flavorful. Okay, so crossbreeding goats are often used in crossbreeding programs to improve the meat production of other goats. So yes, just like one of our watchers was asking about this breeding, crossbreeding is done. And again, you just want to see, you want the best babies you can get. And with that being said, boars are often used in crossbreeding to improve meat production of other goat breeds. So if you just happen not to even know what you got and you end up going out and buying, different goats, you may not know exactly what breed there is, but you can go purchase one with papers like a boar goat and crossbreed to ensure that the ones that you do have on your farm, it will increase their weaning or rapid growth of the kids and make the meat more or better high quality. Okay, so the boar goat is valuable breed for anyone interested in meat production. I have some other goat breeds that I have been looking into, and I definitely always say research, research, research. Don't get into anything and you're throwing your money at it and you don't know what you're throwing your money at, or you don't know how you're going to make money, or you don't know what's going to make you the most money. Look into it. There is too much information out here, wrong and right, for you not to know nothing. Okay, I need for you to learn something, and I'm getting into goats, so I know about quite a number of breeds. But again, I'm just focusing on ones I know can bring you money and is in high demand even as we speak. Okay, and so let's go into our next our next goats. And I would be remiss if I did not talk about the fact that goat yoga, mental health with goats, is a real thing. Okay, it is a real thing. And so, with that being said, these are pygmies or mini goats, and of course, they are definitely for people who are getting into agritourism. You're like, oh, maybe I should have like a breed, a few animals for petting, things of that nature. And so these particular goats are used for that, pygmies. And we definitely, again, we like little bitty goats. Look at that thing. Is that cute or what? I'm just going to make it real big real quick. Not that big. Well, look at that thing. Is that cute? And it was years before I realized that men, they cut their hair into a goatee, and it's from the goats. Look at that. Like, this goat has a goatee, like, for you. Okay. He looks fun, and you want to talk to him. And the mental health around goats is amazing. And again, horses was the thing back in the day, and now today it's all about these little mini goats. They just fun, they play with, they're cute. And so I would be remiss if I did not bring this up for people who get into agritourism. You don't necessarily have to raise goats or any type of animal to get into mental health or agritourism. And this is why. Look at this guy. He is just too cute. Okay, so just talking about pygmy goats. They are small, compact breed, and they're kept for their unique appearance and friendly temperament. And these, of course, originated in West Africa. I don't think I said anything originated here, huh? I don't know how these people, they just decided to bring them over and breed them. Probably, right? And of course, they're known for their small in size. And so they're a popular choice, again, for hobby farms, petting zoos, and as a companion animal. You might not want to keep them in the city because they are goats. They do eat anything. But again, if you're on a farm and you want a cute little animal, this is it, right? They are so cute. So they're not really for you to be selling them or breeding them. They are literally like for petting zoos or hobby farms, right? Their coats are dense and short. They come in a variety of colors and patterns: black, white, brown, mixed different shades, and they often have like a thick, soft undercoat. They have broad faces and short legs and are known for their round bodies, large eyes, and playful expressions. So, again, look at this thing. And you seldom when you see temperament friendly and social when it comes to farm animals. But the pygmy and again mini goats, they are known for being friendly and affectionate and curious, and they often enjoy human interaction and can be quite playful. So that is very important again as we get into agritourism, because I believe in agri-industry, agribusiness, and agritourism, right? All of those things are very important in the agriculture world, understanding that they're separate, they intertwine, and it is a business. Okay. Now, also about pygmies, they're very intelligent. They can be trained to do tricks, respond to a name, walk on a leash, and of course, they're very good with children and other animals. So, again, if you move to a farm and this is something you're just getting into and you got little kids and you want to keep them entertained, go get them one of these little bitty goats. Very, very fun. They're herd animals too, so they like to, of course, be with groups of other pygmy goats. And of course, and that kind of helps them to stay happy and be mentally stimulated. Is that funny, right? That they need that also, and they help each other with that. Okay. So the uses of the pygmy, because I just want to go over that again and again, because you don't necessarily have to get into breeding for milk or breeding for meat. You can get into animals for agritourism. So pygmy goats are sometimes kept for their meat, but their small size, friendly personality, and easy care make them popular as pets and companion animals. So when we're talking about agribusiness, I say agritourism about petting zoos and coming over, but you can raise them for people to take them out. You know, let's say folks who just getting out of the hospital and have to be at home for long periods of time, or and that is a real thing. I recently had some surgery in 2017, and I had no idea it would take me 3 to 4 months to recover. And so recovery is real. So when we talk about people with head injuries or broken bones or in multiple places, these are companion animals. And so you may be able to, again, use your farm and skills and space to create companion animals for others. Though they're not commonly used, again, for commercial purposes, but they are used. You can get milk out of them because they are goats, but these are not the normal milk production goats. Oh, and I will get into that in just a second. Petting zoos, exhibitions, of course, because of their gentle temperament, and they are often kept in like petting zoos and exhibition farms. Hardy means how healthy are they? They're generally healthy and can adapt to a variety of climates. They are also they're still susceptible to common goat health issues such as parasites, which is I was telling you about the Lespedeza grass to kind of keep that down. It's something that kind of counterattacks the parasites inside of their body. So regular health checks and parasite control is very important when we're dealing with these little cute animals. Feeding. They need a balanced diet, okay? And that does not mean apple pie and potato chips, things of that nature, okay? You cannot feed these particular pets any table food, okay? They still have to have hay, water, Okay, they can also be given goat pellets or grains in moderation. And then again, this is for supplemental nutrition for those particular goats. Despite the small size, they're active and need space to roam and explore. That's why they're not real good for like city or urban, because they need space themselves. And so just keeping that in mind, I do suggest this as companions and pets for people who already live on farms who have large areas of space, and that will provide them with ample outdoor space, which is important for their physical and mental well-beings. So while they're helping you with your physical and mental well-beings, they need help with theirs as well. Reproduction might not be as important. 145 days. How many is that? That ain't right. Let's see. 145 days is how many months, you guys? My mind is just not working right now. Let me do that again. 145 divided by 30. Let me come out right. Let's do that again. 145 divided by 30. A little over 4 months. Almost 5 months. Okay, because that's how we do those things. Okay, when they say days, we go to the calculator to figure out exactly what is it that we're looking at. Okay, and that's good. So now you know that those little bitty goats, they may be pregnant 4 or 5 months before they actually have a baby. Okay, and these little bitty goats, they last between 10 and 15 years depending on the care and environment. So, conclusion, which I've said over and over and over again, they're delightful and affectionate breed, and they're suited for those who are seeking small, manageable companion animals. Okay, the small size, easy care, and playful nature makes them great pets, and they're often kept in backyard farms or even urban settings sometimes. While they may not be raised for large-scale commercial purposes, these goats are loved for their friendly demeanor and joy for families, petting zoos, hobby farms. Okay, so just keeping all that in mind. All righty then. Is everybody doing good? I didn't lose anybody yet. It's always good to make sure that I'm just touching back, make sure any viewers have any questions, because again, this is all about you understanding if I'm going to pick a breed, what is it that I need to look at? How am I trying to figure out these breeds? What's going on, right? Okay, so now we are to, aren't these pretty? Alpine goats. Okay. Yes. Now they're not as big, so you don't think about meat. But again, goat milk is high on the list of milk production. Okay. So this particular goat, the Alpine, is popular, of course, for its strong milk production. And hardy nature means that, it is a survivor. Where does this originate from? Not America. Again, the French Alps. Okay. And it is well adapted to various climates and is highly prized for its ability to produce high quality milk. Okay. And that is very important as we are transitioning from cattle milk. Some people are getting into goat milk. And if not even for drinking, again, it's thick, fatty nature of this particular milk is good for making like shampoos and conditioners, lotions, even stuff maybe even for animals, other animals like shampoo and things. That milk production from goats is highly sought after. So when we're looking at the appearance of Alpine goats, the bucks, they weigh between 100 to 200 pounds. And the females, of course, 120 to 135 pounds. And as you can see, they are quite smaller than the goats we were looking at earlier for meat. And that's okay, because we are not getting into alpine goats for meat. We're definitely getting into them for their milk production. And this is just throwing something out there. When we talk about goats and their hides, if you have to dehydrate your goats for processing, keep those hides. Because of the way the goat hair is made, they can be used for shoes, purses, luggage, all kinds of things as well. They have some really nice coats. Okay, short to medium length coats that can come in a variety of colors and patterns, which makes them beautiful. White, black, gray, brown, and a combo of those can be seen. Some have distinctive markings like a white face, but again, their coat is dense and weather resistant. Perfect if you're trying to make your own coats or boots or whatever leather products. Okay. Now, these particular goats have upright ears and they may have horns. Okay. Some of them are naturally polled, and that means without horns, just depending on the genetics and that specifically breed. GMO, no, crossbreeding is not GMO. And we have been crossbreeding for years. As you can see, the different color people that's walking around. Same thing. And crossbreeding produces some beautiful people. Does it not? No different. Okay, so let's talk about the temperament of this particular goat. They're calm and friendly as well, which makes them easier to handle. They're not as aggressive as other goat breeds. And they are, despite how calm they are very active, and they require space to roam. So if you know goats, they are very playful. And most people who are raising goats may have like a roof triangle or something for the goats to climb up on. Again, they are very playful. Okay. And they like to climb and explore. So again, just anybody who's keeping goats usually have something in the fields for them to play with or climb up on. Okay. Milk production, because that is why we're getting into these particular goats, alpine. And one of the main reasons they are so popular is because of their exceptional milk production. They do produce large quantities of milk, and it is rich in butterfat and protein, making it ideal for cheese production. But again, that butterfat and protein is good for hair, and maybe even the hair on your animals, cats and dogs, or even your human head. So just keeping that in mind. If you're in the value-added products and you're making your own stuff, you may want to add a little bit of goat milk in there, alpine goat milk, to add to the fat and protein content of your products. This milk is known for its mild flavor and is used in a variety of dairy products such as cheese, yogurt, and milk. Alpine goats typically have a longer lactation period. That means they can be milked longer, which makes them especially valuable for dairy farms. Okay. On average, of alpine doe can produce around 1 to 3 quarts or 3 liters of milk per day. And this can, again, vary depending on their diet, management, and genetics. Okay, so the health and hardiness of this particular alpine breed is well suited for a variety of climates, from cold mountainous regions to warmer environments, making it globally popular, right? And hardy. These animals are resistant to many common goat diseases, but they still require proper care, including parasite management, regular hoof trimming, and adequate shelter. That hoof trimming is nothing to play with when we're talking about these animals. In goats, their hooves grow like fingernails, and when you clip them, it looks like a big old fingernail, even though it is part of their hoof. And so regular hoof trimming is important because, again, remember, parasites and different things live on the ground or in the ground and can get under their nails and cause them infection and could change how they're feeling. Goats are, again, they want to be taken care of like anything else. And if their feet ain't right, you know how that goes. Okay. Now they live typically 10 to 12 years, again, with proper care. So just keeping that in mind about the early part of the years, their milk production, keeping management even on that. So you'll know, is it a time to sell this particular goat, or can I still get some good milk out of her? Right? So Alpine goats are known for being efficient breeders. They can breed year-round, though most breeders prefer to time breeding. And why do we time breeding? Because there's a buyer coming and he's going to ask for so many, and we would like to know how many we will produce. And if you're just year-round breeding, you may not know. If you are breeding on a time schedule, then you'll know who you actually are breeding. Normally 2 weeks for mating, and then we know that everybody, all the girls, those should be pregnant, and then we put our male back up, and that is how we have a breeding schedule. Okay, we let our buck out. For goats, it's bucks. We let our buck out for about 2 weeks, and he's probably gonna hit everybody. And after that is mate with everybody, and then we know that everybody should be pregnant. And that's kind of how you do a breeding schedule. So just keeping that in mind. Also to ensure a steady supply of milk, because again, only those who've had babies can produce milk. Those usually give birth to 1 or 2 kids, though triplets can occasionally happen. The kidding season generally lasts between 145 to 155 days, and we just learned that's a little over 4 months, right? All right, and that too is similar to goat breeds. Feeding, they are herbivores, which means they eat a lot of grass. And normally, because the alpine goats are herbivores, you don't have to worry about them chewing up everything. But again, high quality hay in a fresh pasture and access to fresh water. Okay, they can be supplemented as well for nutritional needs, especially during lactation. Remember, I told you women who are lactating, even animals, does, heifers. Well, she's a cow after she has a baby. Even cows, when they're lactating, it draws all the nutrients out of their body into their milk. Okay, and so it's very important. That's why women take prenatal vitamins, because you have to meet nutritional needs, especially during lactation. And that's not just for animals that you are breeding for milk production, but any animal that again during that time that they're lactating, even if you're raising animals for beef, during that lactation period, they may need even extra food. I know cattle definitely require some extra food during their period where they are lactating. And so, yeah, just kind of be mindful of that when your animals are lactating, that they may need more nutrition. Okay. The uses, again, why we bring up even alpine, is for dairy production, which is very important. The alpine goat is primarily raised for milk production. Okay, it is known for excellent flavor and high butter fat content. Okay, they say cheese, yogurt, other dairy products, but again, I believe in value added products, and I know goat milk is awesome for that. Okay. They're not always raised for meat production, but again, after 5 to 7 years, and their milk production may be low. You can sell these particular goats for meat as well. Their meat is lean and tender. Due to their striking appearance, remember I was telling you how their coats come in different colors. Very beautiful alpine animals are. And they have good temperament. A lot of people show them off at different exhibits. So they too would be great as a part of any agritourism that you may have going on, because they are beautiful animals, right? So the alpine goat is a highly valued breed, especially for dairy production due to its high milk yield, its good temperament, and its healthiness. And if you're looking for a reliable milk producing goat or a companion animal that can thrive, the alpine goats too are your go-to breed for that. Okay. Its ability to adapt to different climates, along with its friendly nature, impressive dairy quality, makes it one of the most popular goat breeds worldwide. So I'm definitely doing my part in letting you know what is going on worldwide. Exactly where is the money, right? And these are the breeds that I'm going through to definitely help you guys understand exactly which one is going to bring you the most money. So I saved the best for last, which is pigs. What? Is pigs the best for last? I'm going to have to say yes. Unlike everything else that we've talked about, cattle, they don't do too many, let's see. Unlike cattle, hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. So why did I say this is the best for last? Okay, so unlike cattle, and you're only gonna get one calf per cow. Unlike goats, who may give you two or three. Pigs, you can get about 8 or 10 of those little things out of one pig. So it is definitely the go-to animal to raise here in America. Like everybody else might be like, oh, I'm not eating that pig. But we eat barbecue like crazy around here. We put bacon on everything. So we definitely got to talk about pig and how important it is, even here in America, right? So do I suggest people get pigs? Yes. All the time. And that's just because, again, it's just a bigger bang for your buck. Okay. Why? Because they produce about 8 to 10 when they do breed. So let's talk about the Yorkshire. Okay, these are some pig friends or breeds that I know. Like I work with pig farmers, and this is again Yorkshire. Okay, and they're usually called the large white pigs, right? In some regions, and they're recognized extensively as a breed pig, particularly for commercial pork production. So, where did they originate from? Not America. Okay. Originating from the United Kingdom, this breed is prized for its excellent meat quality, rapid growth, and adaptability to various farm conditions, right? So these pigs are huge. So when we're looking at the size of a Yorkshire, they can be between 450 to 700 pounds, okay? And the boars, which are called the men, can range again of 450 to 700 pounds. And then the sow, which is a female, Okay, boars and sows, bucks and does, that's the goats, and bulls and heifers are cows, right? And so when we're talking about pigs, there are boars and sows. And the sow, or the female, she can get up to about 350 to 550 pounds. Okay. They have muscular bodies, okay, with long torsos. So they are efficient for meat production. This breed is known for the pure white coat, which is one of its distinctive features, and they have upright ears that also characterize this particular breed that gives them a distinctive look. These particular pigs are docile and calm, right? Yorkshire pigs are generally known for their calm in their nature, and they're easily to handle, right? And what I like about pigs too is you can kind of put them in like a wooded area. They'll dig out a hole that'll become muddy, and I like to separate, or I've seen this where the mom and the piglets are separate so that the piglets can get to mom at any time. But yes, they don't require a lot of maintenance in my opinion. They're quite intelligent and can be trained more easily than other breeds of pigs. And so that makes them excellent for farm environments, right? These pigs, Yorkshire, are social animals, and they tend to do well in groups or herds. When they have these little piglets running around, you're talking about the cutest thing, and they like to play too. And so if you got agritourism going on or anything like that, yeah, just keep that in mind. The Yorkshire, they have the cutest little piglets, and they like to have a lot of fun, and they're cute to run around as well. Okay, then we're getting Yorkshire for the meat. And when I think of Yorkshire, I think barbecue. Okay, so the Yorkshire breed is known for ability to produce lean, high quality pork. It is often used in commercial operations for bacon, sausage, and of course your pork chops and your pork roast, and just a number of processed pork products. Okay, the key advantage of the Yorkshire pig is there's rapid growth. They tend to mature quickly, making them highly efficient for meat production. They're typically ready for market than any other breed. So just keep that in mind. The meat from Yorkshire pigs is typically tender, flavorful, and marbled. We like that, even though marble means got fat in it. But fat ain't gonna kill us, because I know a lot of people with some extra fat walking around right now. Does that mean you're tender and flavorful? I don't know. I don't eat people. But again, for Yorkshire, it makes it ideal for high quality pork production. Okay. Good reproductive traits. That's what we really like to hear. Yorkshire sows are known for excellent mothering. They have strong maternal instinct. And again, even in your management, just keeping the babies close to the mother is always good. And so they have large litters, 10 or more. Is that crazy? I said 10, but they can have 10 or more piglets. Okay. And they can take care of every last one of them. So unlike the goat, who, if she only has 2 orders, she may ignore that third baby if she has triplets. Pigs aren't like that. They take care of them all. Okay. They have high fertility rate and commonly used in commercial crossbreeding programs. And we're talking about the Yorkshire. Okay. They're often crossed with other breeds to improve traits like the size or the meat quality or reproductive performance. And again, a lot of people may not know what breeds they have, but you can go out and purchase breeds that can increase your own production at your farm. Okay, remember, hardiness, we're just talking about how healthy they are, right? Yorkshire pigs are highly adaptable and can thrive in variety of climates and farming systems. This makes them suitable for intensive and extensive farming practices. Okay, disease resistant. Oh, we love that part, right? While not immune to all diseases, Yorkshire pigs are generally healthy and resilient when provided with proper care and nutrition. Okay. Whether raised in an indoor commercial operation, which is very possible, or on a pasture-based system, Yorkshire pigs adapt well to all types of environments. I'll have to look into that indoor pig raising. I am not familiar with that. But again, if it means having a better management of your animals, then indoor may be the way. And unlike goats, who I know wouldn't like that indoor stuff, sounds like pigs don't mind. Okay. Crossbreeding. Remember, we're not talking about genetically modified. We just talking about two different breeds of animals coming together to make better breeds. Okay. Which have been going on forever. Hybrid vigor. Yorkshire pigs are often used in crossbreeding programs. They are crossed with breeds to improve, again, the meat quality, the size of those animals, and fertility. They are often used in combination with breeds like Landrace and Duroc. And I know people who actually crossbreed with their Duroc to make a better barbecue pig. And again, it's to help them have desirable traits from each breed. Okay, that's the whole point. You're not just breeding to just improve the kids. You may be breeding so that you can have super kids, right? And kids is with goats, so I'm definitely talking about piglets here. Okay, in crossbreeding, Yorkshire pigs are often chosen for their excellent maternal qualities, including their ability to produce large litters and care for them effectively. So again, that is very important. And another reason why you may crossbreed with a Yorkshire is so that your pigs can now produce larger litters. Okay. Commercial meat production. The Yorkshire breed is primarily raised for pork due to its rapid growth, excellent meat quality, and high efficiency. Okay. For crossbreeding programs, they're commonly used in crossbreeding to improve the quality and performance of the offspring, making them essential in many commercial pig farming operations. Yorkshire pigs are often used as breeding stock for other pig farms due to their strong reproductive qualities and desirable traits. So you can help other people build their pig farms up by breeding your Yorkshire pig and selling it in that manner. Okay, so in conclusion, Yorkshire pig is a highly valued breed in the commercial pork industry. It is known for its excellent growth, high quality meat production, strong maternal instinct, which is important, and it is a cornerstone of modern pig farming. Okay, and it is adaptability to various climates and farm systems combined with its use in crossbreeding programs makes Yorkshire breed a reliable choice for commercial and those involved in genetic improvements of pig herds. Not genetically modified, genetically improved. I don't know if that's the same thing or not. It sounds like the same thing, but it is not the same thing. Okay. Because again, we've been crossbreeding for many years for mostly improvement. Somebody asked me, is the pig clean? Yes, the pig is clean. And if it wasn't clean, it is now. Now, back in the day, we had all kind of farming practices. We used to throw slop in there, all kind of stuff. And not anymore, right? We are very careful what we feed our pigs. The pig farmers I know, their pigs is on a nice corn-fed diet, and so just kind of keeping that stuff in mind that you need to know where your pigs come from if you're going to say if it's clean or dirty, right? And I eat a lot of pork. It is the other white meat other than birds, and it's light on your digestive system. The worms and parasites and things that used to be in there are no longer, because we take a lot better care of our animals these days. And somebody was like, Kieran, I'm trying to get my diet right. What do I suggest? Stop with the beef and start with the pork, or continue to eat chicken, which I don't know how we feel about that yet, but turkey, Definitely and always fish. I go to. We'll be talking about fish this month as well because it's always in demand. You can never have enough fish. There's not Presbyterians. I'm not saying that right. It's not a religion. It's a way to that you only eat fish and vegetables. And whoever those people are, they exist, and we want to cater to them as well. Here also is another one of those cows that I see, pigs that I see on a regular basis, the Berkshire pig. Okay. It has exceptional meat quality too, marble, tender, flavored pork. Yorkshire, Berkshire are definitely crossbreed to, again, with the Duroc. You can have a mother that's half and half and a father that's half and half. And again, it's to produce a better quality, right? And the Berkshire breed is highly regarded for its unique characteristics and is often raised for premium pork products. Okay, that's that word we like to hear, premium. Premium means it'll bring us more money. So we do like the Berkshire pig, and they have these beautiful black pigs. And that's kind of what makes them distinctive. And so we do like them as well. And they're easy to recognize because of their distinctive black coat. But they have a compact, muscular body, again, with broad chest and a deep rib cage. So we love ribs off of a Berkshire, right? And I think that's who they was crossbreeding with, not the York, but the Berkshire and the Duroc. Crossbreeding them to again come up with some great barbecue pigs, right? Their bodies are well built and ideal for producing high quality meat. And they have small ears, and that also contributes to their distinctiveness. And then that word is docile and friendly. So they're not just calm, they like to be around people. When you see the word friendly, they're known to be, it makes them easier to handle, even in farm settings. They're not as aggressive as some other pig breeds. And of course, that can help in managing them. And we didn't see this too often in the cattle, but in the goat and the pig, they have an intellect characteristic. Okay, these are intelligent animals and they can be trained, and that's what that means. Like if you teach them something, they can learn it. That's what makes them intelligent. Okay, and you're like, oh, can they read a book? What does that mean, intelligent? No, that means if you can teach them something, then they can learn it when they're intelligent. So stop talking about your kids so bad too. Your own children. All right. If you can teach them something and they learn something, good or bad, they are intelligent. Okay. Making them more interactive than some other pig breeds. I switched over to the pig breeds. But back to children or human beings. No different, right? If you teach them something, they will learn, and it makes them more able to interact with their peers, the more intelligent they are. So even when we're talking about pigs, it's important to understand that, because they can learn or be trained, they are intelligent as well. So the meat quality, exceptional pork quality, exceptional. We like those words, right? The Berkshire pig is renowned for producing the highest quality pork. The meat is known for its excellent marbling, which enhances the tenderness, juiciness, and flavor. The meat has a rich, savory taste and a tender texture that is highly prized by chefs and consumers alike. And you put some sweet baby rays on there, and it's on and popping. Okay. Berkshire pork has a distinctive, sweet, rich flavor, which is results of the breed's unique genetics and marbling in the meat. Isn't it amazing that the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice? The blacker the pig, the tender, more tender it is. Even the cattle, the blacker the cattle, the more tender it is. That's amazing about that black. You just like to get away from it, but we can't, because black is beautiful. All right. It is considered superior to pork from other commercial breeds due to its flavorful and tenderness. So if you, again, are trying to get into the pig business, we definitely suggest Berkshire. Okay, due to exceptional meat quality, they are raised for premium products, specialties like sausage, chops, and bacon, right? And it's sought out in gourmet markets. And so gourmet markets also means cha-ching. So don't keep, please keep that in mind when we're talking about anything we talking about an ag up where is about harvesting together. How can we make money together? How can we help each other to make more money? And get you some black cows, some black pigs, and go for what you know. Okay. And another thing about the Berkshire sow, remember sow means female. When we're talking about pigs, is that they have good mothers and reputation for producing large litters. In other words, they put out these 10 babies and all 10 of them going to turn out just fine. I like to think that about people. And we put out 10 children, they all going to be just fine. And they're going to all demand something different. Some may eat longer than others. Some may stay longer than others. But you got to believe that you have good maternal instincts, mothers, okay? And no matter what the end looks like, you can raise healthy piglets. Healthy children, okay? Good maternal instinct, healthy children, healthy piglets, okay? Now the Berkshire pig are not as fast growing as some of the other breeds like the Yorkshire or the Duroc, but they are known for maturing into high quality meat. Okay, so their slower growth rate is offset by the superiority quality of their pork. And now I know why they crossbreed. You crossbreed them because of the slow growth rate. You definitely want to crossbreed with something that has a faster growth rate. Okay, and again, we just trying to have the best product. Okay. Resilience. These pigs are hardy animals and they can adapt well to a range of farming conditions. They thrive in systems where they have enough space to move around. Okay. Berkshire pigs are often raised in more traditional pasture-based systems where they're allowed to roam freely. Rooted in the soil, the lifestyle is thought to contribute to the flavor and quality of their meat. Can you believe that? And let me just highlight this quickly. Because some people be like, really? Is this real? Okay. The lifestyle, and we're just talking about this particular pig right now, because that's where this information is under Berkshire. But when I tell you, when it comes to the cattle, the goat, the pig, bison, I got some people who sell bison in the Midwest area, ducks, turkeys. It is very important that they are happy or their meat will come out disgusting, tasting nasty, different colors. It's amazing when animals are stressed out that it results in their meat. Okay, so just keep that in mind if you decide to go into animals, raising animals at all, that their lifestyle will contribute to the flavor and quality of their meat. Okay, why are we talking about the heritage of this Berkshire? It has a long history and is raised for traditional farming practices. It is one of the few pig breeds that has maintained a connection to its roots, and efforts have been made to preserve that. So you talking about a pedigree. Most Berkshire pigs have a pedigree. They know exactly what their family tree looks like. Okay. And remember, Berkshire, they originated in England. Remember, nothing started over here. And it's traditionally used for pork production. Over time, they became prized for their meat quality, particularly the marbling and flavoring. So just keep that in mind. Berkshire pigs are raised especially for their meat. And it's amazing how they are in high demand for high-end markets and gourmet demand. Okay, so their pork is considered some of the best in the world. All right, so if you're thinking about it, Berkshire Pigs is the way to go due to the premium quality of their pork. They're often used for specialty products. Okay, and so just keep that in mind. They say specialty products, but they mean high priced products. Okay, so Berkshire, in conclusion, and these are my conclusions, Berkshire is considered some of the best in the world. All right. It has a slower growth rate compared to other breeds, but the superior taste and texture of their meat make them highly sought after. Okay, and that means from buyers. They're highly sought after in premium markets. Okay, which makes them a popular choice for even small scale farms. Gourmet food producers, okay, also are getting into the Berkshire business. And those looking to raise heritage stock, those with a pedigree. So that is our information for today as far as our animals and what are we doing. And so I just wanted to make sure that I kind of went over that tonight. I definitely, again, try to put out good information to you guys. And we got some great stuff coming up this month. We'll be at back in Tuskegee and working with small ruminants, which is sheep, goat, llamas. And we will definitely be working with Dean Ralph Noble, or I'm not sure if he's the dean at North Carolina A&T or not, but he is really big on AI, artificial insemination. So we're going to get into that as well because, again, we want to make the most money with our farming operations, and this is how we're going to go about doing it. And yeah, so Farm Animal April, y'all get ready. And so we'll be posting again more stuff on animal quality and making sure that you guys get what you need. So please like, share, subscribe to this channel because we are information all day, all night, right? And that's why we like YouTube. So if you're looking into, again, getting into agriculture, please join the Ag Up World. Subscribe, like, and share. And we'll be back at it again next Sunday. So you guys, and hopefully spring break will be over and we'll have some guests here and our co-host as well, because April, it's getting hot. I don't know about where you are, but in Georgia, it's hot. It feels like June. It's 80 degrees in April. So yes, get out and go see some farms, you guys. You'll be surprised. It may even be some urban farmers. I was hanging out on Camilton Road in Ben Hill, and literally there is a man who has about 30 goats on his little less than a quarter of an acre, and he pretty much gives them supplements, brings them hay. They don't necessarily graze. He has beautiful animals only for agritourism. So just get out, look, and see if that's what you want to do. Have somebody reach out to me this week and let me know, Karen, I don't know about the 401ks, the IRAs, or what to do with any of that stuff. And I'm telling them, hey, invest your money into some land. Okay, either get you somebody I know just recently got 20 acres. That's a lot of land, but it's some stuff you can do with it, and that's some guaranteed retirement right there. You know it's gonna make you money. You can hire farm hands. You don't have to be a farm hand. You can go into agritourism, which would be even better. But again, agriculture is the oldest industry and is never going anywhere. So you can always invest. You don't believe me? NASDAQ, SP 500. You can look there and see wheat, soybean, corn. That stuff is actual items of commodity. And so, yes, definitely get into agriculture and stick with Ag Up World. We're going to bring you good information, and we're going to start bringing you information from all over the United States. We are connected, okay? Love you guys. Thank you so much for all your support. to Coach K, which is me here in Simmons. Ag Up World, agriculture for a united people, where we are planting, growing, and harvesting together. Thank you again, you guys, and good night.